For those that you believe and don't believe, I hope you have the best day and don't walk under any ladders or see any black cats or anything like that. So, um, other than that, Senate Agriculture is preparing to vote out their our work that we've done for the first half of the year. It's a miscellaneous bill that has quite a few sections in it. Very proud of the work that we've done. I think we've really worked hard on this bill. Got a lot of subject matter on it, a lot of technical corrections that's going on. But the crown jewel of the of this bill is that after the Supreme Court decision, we were able to work closely with a lot of partners throughout the state and restore most of what Ag Community felt was lost during that decision. I want to thank the Supreme Court for the way that they made their ruling. It made it so that we could work, and the way I interpreted what their findings were, that if you believe that you have something, you ought to say it, and that's what we've done. The committee's found a way to restore again probably 95% of what farmers had, and that it also worked closely with a lot of city leagues and towns, and found a lot of balance. I also want to acknowledge the stakeholders groups that work closely with us. I know good legislation sometimes is when you have something that not everybody was happy with, but at the end they can coalesce around what we have done, and know that it's still always a talk that happen. We've done a pretty good job, I believe, threading the needle as far as how hemp is going to be marketed in the state. We've brought protections to the hemp growers, hemp producers, the hemp marketers, and again, it's something that is a work in progress. But the framework to ensure that hemp business is viable in the state of Vermont, protected. I think we've covered that, working very close with the Cannabis Control Board, and again, a lot of the stakeholders who are involved with that. This committee works very hard to protect the small to the small, and the large to the large, and everybody in between. And I don't think that we've been malicious to anyone, which certainly would never be our intent. So I would always ask that people who feel that they didn't get all what they wanted to reach out to us and keep working, because nothing's ever fine. We're just going to take a few minutes to go down through this bill. We're going to take a vote, but I'd like to give everybody in the room, the committee members, any chance to make comments as we would go. So I don't apologize to Senator Major, but I always start amongst on this side and leave us for last, and so I don't think disrespect it that way. Senator Collins.
Yeah, I have quickly perused what is now draft 4.1, which includes the changes we talked about yesterday, and I'm fine with the bill. I think the chair's made a very good opening statement about this. I have a feeling we're going to look back on this in a few years and realize that it's a landmark bill in many ways, because it restores a lot of what most people would have assumed was true before this summer's decision by the Supreme Court. And this will frame it so that it's very clear, at least what this committee, assuming this gets all the way through to the finish line, is intending. I think if you spend any amount of time in this building, the word compromise has to be included in your vocabulary, and this represents, to me, excellent work in that way. I think the very small farmers will benefit from sections 1 through 3, and the Vermont League of Cities and Towns and the H2 of Agriculture also worked hard together come up with what they felt was a fair, equitable compromise. So I'm ready to vote it out and get it on the floor next week and watch it hopefully get to the finish line. I realize it'll go across to our very hardworking colleagues in the other chamber, and they may choose to tinker with it in some fashion. But I think it's a great bill, and I think everybody should be proud of it.
Very well, good.
Yeah, I don't have much to add, I don't think. I know we talked a lot about what the section 10 and section 1 and section 7. I appreciated all the conversation that we had about that. And ultimately it's out of the bill now, but I think that discussion and how we went through it was one of the reasons why I would be here. Having this discussion. So I was very happy to have that be part of my experience during the first term. So, and everything else we've already discussed on.
So I have an,
Want to echo what Senator Plunkett said. The debate we had during the solar fields was heated at times. Senator Majors brought us all back in control there for a moment. But we had a real good back and forth, and I don't understand why it got taken out. But I thought what our objective was to protect prime ag soils, and for some reason, powers to be didn't think that was important enough, and that's a shame. But great debate, back and forth, a lot of good testimony that our farming community is doing well. They could all use more money, but that's all of us could. But working with you, other senators, has been a pleasure, and I'm looking forward to keep doing it for the rest of the session. Yeah, I'm happy with it.
Senator Major.
Well, first of all, I appreciate the senior senators and their guidance through this. As it did get contentious there for a little bit, and sometimes when the sausage is being made, you can find that out. And to your point, Senator Ingalls, earlier, when the Supreme Court said what they said, you kind of throw up your hands and go, that's not what it was meant. But to that point, it gave us an opportunity to fix, and that's the most important thing. And so there's no wiggle room now for that. We have the right language and we can go forward. So I do appreciate everyone in here and their participation in this, and all the bodies that came in and gave their opinion as well. I thought it was very important to get this right, and I think we did. So I appreciate it.
Thank you, gentlemen. And for those that aren't aware that might be listening, we've referenced section 9, section 7. That did not make the bill. The solar siting part of it, language did not make the bill. That's what happens in politics sometimes. But if you guys are all set, I would entertain a motion to take the vote on the bill.
I'll move we vote draft 4.1 of S323 out favorably. This is a strike all amendment.
Second.
Jake, Governor Heffernan, would you call the roll, please?
Yeah, just for the act relating to the miscellaneous agricultural bill, point one. 4.1 of Senate Bill 323. Roll call vote. Senator Callamore.
Yes.
Senator Heffernan is a yes. Senator Majors.
Yes.
Senator Plunkett.
Yes.
Senator Ingalls.
Yes.
It is voted 5-0-0.
Okay, so what I'd like to do is let's get a copy of this bill for everyone. And let's just go offline for a few minutes and give Linda time to do those copies. And, if it's okay with you, folks, let's, kind of go down through the bill and divide it up about who's comfortable.